From the far corners of the fandom universe, representing film, comics, and anime, sci-fi, fantasy, and cosplay, they come together for one cause: to geek out. They are the Council of the Blurs. Blurred powers unite. Engage.
And what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Council of the Blurs. I'm, of course, the host, Kendrick Grey, the Jetlock Bird. Blurred. Did I say bird? I just said.
Yes, you did.
You know what, man? Whatever, man.
Oh, you messed up. You messed
Whatever.
up now.
Whatever.
I am joined about the bird.
I am joined, of course, by HB Gibson and Enigma's Girl. How you guys doing today? Dark Angel, I'm going to assume is going to be joining us. She has some things that she had to take care of. But I'm guessing she's on her way home. I'm not quite sure. Daryl says, "What's up?" Well, it's a girl here, too, so I don't know if she's a fella. So I don't know if that counts. But I'm pretty sure she appreciates the hi and all this. So, but
I'm assuming he's saying it to you guys.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. So, in any case, we are back again. We didn't do an episode last week. We kind of took us a little bit of a break, but we are back this week. And again, keeping up with the trend of what we've been talking about since, everything went down. The title of this Geekcast, we're going to be talking about reality TV shows. Before we get into the discussion, of course, please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Right now, it's only streaming on YouTube. Normally, we try to stream on YouTube and Facebook, but Facebook's being an ass right now. So, it definitely helps if you're watching us here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel so you know when we come up here with another podcast and stuff. And also, be sure to share with your friends if any of them might be interested. Like, the feedback and the conversation that we have with you guys in the comment section is always great. So, the more people that come in, the better. It's always best that way. So whoever you know that might be interested in jumping in or like the conversation that we have, definitely tell them to come through. As a matter of fact, we had gotten a comment on one of our older Geekcasts where we talked about relationships. And the person who commented said, hope that we do something like that again at some other point. Or at least a lot more, I think he said a lot more informative type of shows and stuff. So, in the near future, we'll be doing things like that again. It may not necessarily be relationships. I mean, none of us are parents, so we can't really speak on that. So, I mean, Harold's the closest one. He has a dog, so he has a fur baby. So there's that. But none of us have kids. I mean, I'm around them a lot. I teach. I work in the school system, so I'm around kids a lot. But I mean, we'll probably tackle other things like that are a little bit more informative and stuff. So, look out for more shows like that. But in any case, please comment, like, share, and of course subscribe and hit the bell next to the subscription button so you know when we are going live. All right. All that being said, again, the topic of discussion today is reality TV. Now, since the pandemic, a lot of things have shut down. Not even just local businesses and restaurants and stuff, but production on a lot of different types of projects. Movies have been pushed back to next year. TV shows had to cut their seasons short. And reality TV kind of had to put a halt to what they do because the whole basis of reality TV is that it's happening in real time. Right. Now, reality TV has slowly been making a comeback, slowly been trying to get itself back together. As far as like production is concerned, but the question is it really going to survive as the pandemic has not been squashed? Like, it's still going on. So will reality TV survive in the next couple of months? Not even the next couple of months, maybe the next year or so. I mean, that's the question that we're kind of posing right now. And
Right.
As a person who doesn't watch a lot of reality TV, save for wrestling, which I just kind of started watching again. It's kind of rough. It's really kind of rough because there's still a lot of guidelines that a lot of places have to follow, which is the reason why a lot of places had to get shut down.
Right.
But it's very interesting. Kim, I mean, if you want to jump right in.
Okay, so the reason, and I was telling them earlier, the reason I brought this up, and I kind of thought about it. I actually saw that they were going to have new episodes of Catfish, which is one of my guilty pleasures, of course. And unfortunately, after watching the episode, I noticed very quickly that the changes have changed the way the show is and how dramatic the show is and how possibly good it is. The quality has completely changed. Yeah. So those who hasn't watched the episodes, what they're doing now, basically everything is the same thing we're doing now, Zoom calling. So they're doing the whole Zoom call. Everything is a Zoom call. So they're calling the catfish on the phone. They're not going out and interviewing people. They're not talking to people. They're basically kind of just writing people saying, hey, join the Zoom call. Making a phone call saying, hey, just come in whenever you feel like it. And like, it's not as interesting or fun. And they're kind of putting a lot of filler into it, a lot of lifestyle fillers from like, Neve and I forget the girl's name. I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting her name. The new host. But they're putting a lot of filler in to kind of keep it entertaining. And it's not as good as it was. Right. I know a lot of that's scripted, or a lot of that's, a lot of people the directors already know who the catfish is prior to all this happening or whatever the case may be. But it seems as though watching that made me question what's going to happen to things like, talk shows, for instance.
Yeah.
Maury is a huge talk show.
Yeah.
Maury is big. I even wanted to be in the audience of Maury at one point in time, And what's the other one? The Wilk show, whoever took over Jerry Springer. What's his name?
Steve Wilkos.
Steve Wilkos.
Yeah, Steve Wilkos.
Those shows are dependent on your studio audience.
Right.
What happens to those shows when it goes to just me or just the host, whoever's filming, and whoever's coming on the show?
I mean, it's and it's funny because not only just the talk shows and stuff, but I've been looking at all these other nightly news shows like the Daily Show and John Oliver's TV series, and it's like,
correct.
I mean, yeah, they have guests and they can communicate each other via Zoom calls or whatever video calls that they have, but it's like
your audience feedback makes a difference.
It really, really does. And and you look at talk shows like Maury or like Steve Wilkos, and it's like the energy of the audience definitely fuels the vibe of the show. It's like,
when he says you are not the father, what automatically the audience is what makes it.
The audience is like, ooh.
And that makes a person get up and run to the green room, but whatever.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's like that whole energy is gone.
Exactly.
Once that's over. Will they have to retire talk shows?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I thought talk shows would have been retired a long time ago because they're all really the same thing. There was a good minute where everybody and their mama had a talk show. I remember
Sally Jesse Raphael, Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake,
Tempest
had a bunch of Geraldo, Donahue. I ain't going.
A lot of them had to go for controversial reasons. A lot of them had to go.
The king will forever be Richard Bay. That is the king of talk shows. I don't care what nobody says. Richard Bay is the king, the emperor of talk shows. I don't care what nobody says. Richard Bay is the man, and he forever will be the man. Where do they find these people? That is the greatest line ever in talk show history.
But you look at that, and then other things that I kind of go into as far as that's concerned. I also talk about, game shows.
Yeah.
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 You have the biggest one, Price is Right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's Make a Deal. Let's Make a Deal just started back up again.
Yeah.
Right.
You have all these talk shows and these game shows that are now popping up that were never there before, that have already previously recorded their shows,
Mm-hmm.
and they're now starting to come out now. So you have they're probably not gonna have new episodes.
No.
America's Got Talent, American Idol.
Yeah. Oh.
Now, I don't know, maybe I'm bugging up, but I'm pretty sure I saw that American Idol was still doing it, but like doing it like through video calls and stuff. Like they have people like compete. I'm like, that is totally not the same.
That's
It's
not
not even
no.
that. That's time consuming.
Yes.
Can you imagine how many Zoom calls or how many video calls you have to go through in a day?
Yeah.
And it's not as easy to cut somebody off. I mean, you were literally gonna have to press a button and say click, bye,
Yeah.
Bye.
bye. Like you like it's not gonna be as fun as having, security drag them out. You
Yeah.
know?
Right.
It's not going to be as interesting. You look at all these shows, and like I said, Price is Right is a good example.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on the audience.
Yeah.
You have a whole audience there. People getting picked out of the audience, running down the stairs, tripping down the stairs. So I'd probably fall down the stairs if I was on it. But you have a whole audience doing this to get down. Come on down.
Yeah.
Without the audience, everything is pretty much dead. That's because like I keep alluding to whenever people talk about wrestling, I go, they always look like they're rehearsing because there's nobody there. The audience is damn near, I'm just going to say 90% of the damn show.
Well, for the Price is Right, it is. It's not.
Yeah.
The audience is 100% of the show, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 99.9 because you have Drew Carey's hosting and the models or whatever.
Yeah.
But literally, it's all about the audience members and that chance to get up on stage. And the thing is, you social distance. Yeah, it's going to increase your chances of getting on there, but who's really going to social distance in a huge studio?
Exactly.
That probably has no circulation or ventilation for you to actually, do all this stuff. It's not going to be the same thing. Same thing with, Let's Make a Deal, which depends on you wearing a costume.
Right.
Again, you're going to be talking through masks the entire time.
Right.
So you're not going to be able to see your face. That's a big thing, Imagine having being on Maury. Like, who does he look like? Y'all wearing masks except the baby.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. It's like I don't know. I mean, I don't watch a lot of talk shows like I did when I was like back in high school and stuff. But like, I can't imagine them still continuing to happen. Like some of them have made pretty decent strides. Like I said, John Oliver, whatchamacallit, what's that? What the hell is that damn show on TBS with Samantha Bee? Whatever the heck that show is, I can't remember because I really don't watch it. But again, the Daily Show with Trevor Noah is like, I mean, I guess it's also Full Frontal, that show. I mean, I guess it's all dependent on where these shows are being filmed and recorded at. If you're in a spot where it's like the situation is not all that bad, I guess you can kind of get away with like maybe spreading out the audience if they even do that. I don't even think they do. Like how you mentioned wrestling, and it's like like I said, I just started watching it again, and it's really whack to watch. It's weird. It's very weird because like the audience highly drives, things like that, like sports entertainment. Things like wrestling, boxing, UFC, and all that stuff. Audiences drive those things. And without the audience there, is like now WWE. They've gone as far as like I guess calling like certain wrestling talents up that are like developmental. They'll be in the audience because they're performing out of the performance center, which is a small spot. It's not like these big arenas where they usually go to every week. But it's like, it's not the same. It doesn't drive. It doesn't have that same energy. Like AEW, they don't. Even, I don't even think that at first they weren't even doing any audience members. They were just doing the show with just the talent, and it's like this is very lame to watch. It doesn't make any sense, and I'm not quite sure how long they think they can keep that up, because eventually, I mean, yeah, people are still tuning in. There is that. I mean, that just goes without saying. People are still tuning in, but how long before they just kind of lose interest in what they're watching because it doesn't have that same energy like it did before?
Exactly. And the same thing with comedians. Like you said, like you were talking about the late shows. You're talking about the daily shows and all that stuff. Where you could probably do it without an audience.
Mm-hmm.
You could do it with a laugh track.
Yeah.
Still get the same effect. You can still do all those shows. Those things can happen. But what's the one that what's the big one right now, that the late show that's very big right now?
Mm-hmm. That's with Stephen Colbert, right?
Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel show. If you do Jimmy Kimmel right now, you got to think Jimmy Kimmel has a band.
Yeah.
He always has guests on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you're not going to get any guests to fly right now.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get people to come out and fly. So it's all going to be online. So you're not going to have the Roots there kind of hanging out really, unless you have them on a Skype call, which is going to be a massive one because they're not in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they're not going to have all the fun things that they do on Jimmy Kimmel, like the lip sync battles or the little skits that they do where they're dancing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, those things are not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, you're not going to have those things to fill the show with. So if you're not going to have those, it kind of just cuts a lot of that down. So, you're looking at a 30-minute show almost,
mm-hmm.
Filled with commercials.
Yeah.
Which really, it kind of kills it. The SNL's another one like that. SNL, Mad TV. I don't even know if Mad TV is still on, to be honest with you. I can't.
Look,
I don't watch it.
I watched that new season. I watched one episode of that new season. I'm like, yeah, this is not for me. I am not watching this anymore because this is really lame. It's just like the new All That. That new All That is nope, couldn't do that either.
I heard about all
that.
Oh yeah, there's a new All That.
Not all that.
Yeah, there's a new All That, and trust me, you don't want to watch that.
No, you don't want to watch that.
And you don't want to watch
all
that.
Okay, I guess this comes with not having cable, but
yeah, but
okay.
But it's I don't know, and you think of shows like these where it's like SNL. I know SNL for a while. I mean, as far as I know, I haven't watched SNL in a minute, but I do know they were doing the whole like virtual Zoom call. Like I'm like, I mean,
some of them are hilarious. Like the I can get that with the worker that comes on that's in their underwear, and I can totally see that because I totally been on a Zoom call and that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
And the person didn't realize the camera was on, but I can see it. That's why it's funny, but I can't see it as a full show.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to come back into the studio because it really doesn't work outside of that.
Yeah,
right.
A lot of these shows are really going to suffer, big time. And it's like, what do they do going forward? Like, how do they handle this?
Exactly. And
I mean, can you imagine the real world?
Oh my God!
Can you imagine the real world doing this now?
Even then, look, Housewives of Atlanta, Housewives of all these housewife shows, all these little people shows, all these I don't know half these shows because I just know they exist. I don't watch them. I just know there's all these trucker shows, these survivalist shows. You don't realize how much reality TV we watch.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, because I see commercials for, I guess this new one that's coming on TNT or TBS. It's some kind of spiritual retreat type show or something like that. Yeah. And it's how exactly is this supposed to work? It's like, how is any of this supposed to work? Especially if you're like, if it's a show where it's like you gotta go somewhere in like the wilderness or something like that, or some kind of retreat, and it's like, I mean, I don't know. I
Well,
know, yeah,
it's like, well, a lot of the shows that we're seeing now are shows that have been already filmed already.
that's true. Also, that's true. Also,
So
yeah.
we're looking at stuff that's been filmed last year was waiting
Right.
for release.
Mm-hmm.
Or through editing, went through the editing hell, and now
Yeah.
they're ready to go out.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're looking at all this, you're just like, okay, that's fine. You have episodes like Hell's Kitchen and stuff like that may be coming out, but then you have like legitimate stuff that's happening like maybe 2-3 weeks prior to when it's supposed to be coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, like, you have like the catfish and stuff like that was literally happening during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if this is the way reality TV is going to happen, this is going to really be horrible.
Oh.
Because like, if this is the future, is that everything's going to be through a Zoom call, I think we're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's any real like, shows that are still on that, that I can think of right now. Let me just think of I'm trying to actually look up one. There is a show, I believe it's called Love is Blind.
I've heard of that. I don't think I've watched
I
it.
think it's on Netflix. And that actually came out this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe they're putting out new episodes. What I saw originally when they were doing the recruiting for the next season, they actually were doing recruiting during the pandemic.
Wow.
And what they were planning to do was to do it all through basically Zoom.
Right.
So basically only online everything, because technically with Love is Blind, it's basically, for people that don't know, there are two groups, male and female. They have these little booths that they go into. And what they do in these booths, they're separated by a wall. And it's separated by like a opaque, screen. So they can talk through it, but they can't see each other. They can't even see an outline of each other.
Right.
Okay.
And they're supposed to be able to talk to fall in love.
Right.
In a certain amount of time. I think they have like a couple of weeks. And then they meet up and they go to a resort or whatever, and then at that point they start dating. Now I can understand at a certain point that working. Okay, fine. You do the Zoom call, you do everything, but what about the meetups?
Right.
Yeah.
What about the plane ride to whatever the resort is? Where do you involve the safety of the people involved in the show?
Right.
That's it's kind of that's where like a lot of these reality shows for me are kind of like drawing the line. It's like, okay, it sounds fun, it sounds interesting, but what are you going to do to protect them?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go to some farm resort right now because a lot of places are not taking Americans.
Exactly.
So you're going to have to go to like Florida.
Uh-huh.
Florida, yeah. Florida, yeah.
You're gonna have
Yeah, Florida. Yeah.
You get to the Florida. So you go to Florida, you're going to literally be sitting in the middle of, COVID soup.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And so you got to be extra careful with your people. So how do you keep your people safe? Keep the contestants safe? Even things like, what's that show where they have the big balls and they jump on the balls and they
Wipeout.
Yeah. What? Wipeout. Wipeout. I love Wipeout.
They just started another one. Mike Bazanian hosts it. Like, what do they call it? Is it? I feel like Cannonball. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yes, but it's different.
And it's like, I mean, I know productions has restarted on a lot of things, but it's like, how long do y'all think y'all can keep production up?
Yeah,
I know, right?
Like soon. Florida ain't bad. Florida is the devil's asshole right now. Okay,
Let me.
Oh my gosh.
okay. Florida is Looney Tunes. I don't know what, and I can say that because I used to live there. I can say that Florida is crazy. All right, I don't know if they figured out what's going on. Like it's it's wild over there. That's all I can tell you. It's wild over there. But sure, it ain't bad. Yeah, why not? It ain't bad. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? So.
Well, I think about, like new ideas for reality shows. I sort of had an idea, and I kind of bounced it off of like, watching the gamers on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Like a game show, and make it like really, really suspenseful. Have the have contestants, invited. That the whoever's hosting the game sends email saying, yes, you are invited to play XYZ. And it's got like a real creepy name to it. And they have to solve like something. And it gets creepier and creepier. Like everything that they do, it's like a text adventure. And they can play like suspenseful music as they're looking like, okay, you're going into a room and you find a dead body. And then the guy goes, then the contestant, you can see the reaction of the contestant, like, dead body. Like make it real creepy, and the person that can solve the game, wins, whatever they're playing for. And and have it like, have them compete with like other people, have like 4 screens, and like whatever one person does something, it has adverse effects to everybody else, and it's like the last person standing or the last person surviving, or they can call somebody and say, call one of the other contestants, and maybe almost like Big Brother, where they can like have alliances to solve this game. That's just my idea. I mean, and to make it creepy as hell.
I mean,
Like I'm looking at a list right now of shows that are, one of the shows they're saying that's still continuing their regular schedule was 600 Life.
oh god.
And Keeping Up with the Kardashians is also continuing as well.
Look, those guys will keep filming their show if it's the plague outside. Okay, the Kardashians, I'm saying right here, the Kardashians are the devil too. I don't care.
Oh yeah.
The Kardashians are the whole devil, so they will film their show during Armageddon. All right, like that's it is what it is.
Because I can see a lot of these people getting laid off. Like I can see a lot of people getting laid off. A lot of people losing their jobs because production is slowed.
Yeah.
So like sometimes, like send a halt in particular cases. Just being furloughed for without work for like 2-3 weeks. That's a lot of money. So like they said, CBS is Amazing Race, ABC's The Bachelorette, and ABC's The Bachelor Summer Games were all halted and canceled. Let me see here. Vanderpump Rules, Below Deck, $1 Million Listing have stopped shooting. Halted production listed. I'm just leaving Bravo shows that have halted production. Real Housewives of New Jersey, $1 Million Listing, New York, Southern Charm, and I didn't even know this existed. The Real Housewives of the Potomac.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Real Housewives of Atlanta is still shooting, but the reunion shows have stopped. But the thing is that again, I can understand Atlanta. Atlanta's open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, but you can't film New Jersey.
No.
Unless they're doing a lot of outdoor dining.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally what I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, I would think like, what about like, shows like Ninja Warrior and stuff like that, where, you have a lot of people that are, dependent on the crowd,
Mm-hmm. I don't
Well,
know.
they
Yeah.
can still do Ninja Warrior. Just have just like the added obstacle would be running through a crowd of people with no masks on. So
Gosh, that'd be horrible. That'd be so horrible. You're gonna have the one germaphobe that's gonna go nuts. Oh my goodness, no, I wouldn't even do that. And I'm actually just looking at that.
It's I don't know. It's just very interesting to see how all this is gonna unfold. Like,
lovely. I just found something. America's Got Talent just started recording.
wow.
Really? Seriously?
The quarterfinals episodes are scheduled to begin August 11th.
Wow.
So, but what they're doing is that, from what it seems like, they're sitting outside 6 feet apart. The judges and everybody's on a big screen.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like they're in a studio. Well, it's not like all outside. It looks like they're in a big studio. And they're sitting, 6 feet apart in a studio. But, I mean, I guess.
I mean, I guess it'll work somehow. I mean, I honestly,
I don't get it, because again, it's all about theatrics with America's Got
right.
Talent. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
If I have a legitimate talent and I live in a small, 4x4 closet apartment in New York, hashtag, because that's where you'll find one of those. If I live in a small 4x4, I'm like, and I have a physical talent, I'm not gonna be able to show you. The only thing I'll be able to perform for you is me singing, playing instruments.
Yeah.
My talent would be is showing you how I live in my 4x4 apartment every day. Like, come on now. It's like you can't necessarily do physical unless you have unless you have the ability to go outside.
Right.
In a lot of states, you don't have that. It's like New Jersey, you have restrictions. Like, you can't do certain things without a mask on.
Yeah.
Outside.
Right. Well, I'm looking at USA Today, and doing some reporting on USA Today. Oh, come on, man, quit messing around. Okay, let's see. Ninja Warrior, yes. Love Island and more reality TV contests return with COVID-19 protocols.
They're talking about. I'm looking at the same article as well, and they're talking about Big Brother.
Yeah.
Is the ultimate quarantine show, is what they called it. I don't know about you, but I still, unless they're all getting tested for COVID, Brovid. That thing.
Brovid.
Brovid. Unless they're all getting tested for it before they come in, and they have been isolated for 14 days prior to coming on the show, I don't want to be near them, personally.
Exactly, yeah. That's the other thing.
That's the thing. I'm like, because that's literally what's going to have to be, is that you're going to have to be tested, isolated while tested. That's the better way to put it. Isolated while tested, so tested while in isolation. Come back negative, still be in isolation until the show begins.
Right.
That's the only way you're going to be able to make sure people are not getting sick.
Right.
Like, I don't see productions lasting very long. That's one thing I will say, because like I said, it's not like wrestling. At least wrestling, I'm gonna assume they're doing like periodic testing. I'm gonna assume that, and it's already clear that there's actually been some talents that have like refused to like come back to work because of the risk of like COVID coming out of nowhere. But again, a lot of these, especially like these housewife shows, which is the craziest thing. Like these housewife shows, like their whole thing is drama. So it means oftentimes a lot of physical altercations happen during these shows. So it's like, You gotta tell them like, well, you can't smack this person today, or you can't pull this person's wig off because situations and stuff like that. But it's like I don't know. See, like a. Mhm.
I just found another one I don't understand. Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Now, unless they have like a stage or a dance floor in their garage, or if they have like a built-in like dance studio in their house, I don't know how that's going to work.
First of all, you're not even you have to dance with an actual dance instructor.
Right.
So you have to dance with a professional dancer, and you have to practice with that dancer. So what are you going to do? Isolate everybody?
I know.
I don't know. I want to chalk it up to saying that maybe a lot of these contestants are possibly getting paid to be in these situations and stuff. And if they happen to fall ill, then maybe they'll be covered or something like that. But
Dancing with the Stars is celebrity. No, not A-list, but like, B-list, C-list celebrities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're talking about B-list, C-list celebrities, you're risking that chance of getting sick. I'm like, we don't even know who the cast is at this point because they're saying they're filming late August.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, I'm gonna even check that. I'm just curious to see if they have a new cast because I'm wondering who they would cast for that and who would do this. Let's find out.
Well, in the meantime, Chris Harrison will miss Bachelorette taping for 2 weeks to quarantine. It's just in.
Oh, so they are filming Bachelorette.
Yeah. Well, let's say there are no roses. It says that there are no roses in Chris Harrison's immediate future. The longtime host of ABC's The Bachelorette is temporarily stepping aside from his duties to self-quarantine for 14 days after dropping his son Joshua off at college in Texas. So there you have it. If you want to, read more about it, ladies and gentlemen, check out NewYorkPost.com to find out more about what Chris Harrison is going to do.
I mean, we got to figure that some shows have already been canceled. I mean, they canceled Cops for other reasons, of course.
Yeah.
Like a lot of other law enforcement shows, I believe, were canceled as well for other reasons, of course. But like just looking at the array of I just look at anything performance related, anything dealing with like a talent, singing, dancing, whatever. It's like, yeah, I mean, the only way I can see that working right now, outside of filming, is like a watch party style type deal. Like that's the only thing I can see that happening. And even then, that's a gamble because you'd have to connect multiple different watch parties to watch these things in order for it to like really have some sort of like even half or maybe 25% of the effect that you would have is if we were filming this thing live. Like, I mean, it's different like something like American Idol where it's just you and the judges first, and then you go on to like
it's just your voice.
Exactly. It's something. It's different than that, or something like American Idol or America. Well, not even America's Got Talent because they kind of put you out in the front too. They put you in front of a crowd also, and
America's Got Talent is like I said. And the other thing is that you need space. A lot of people don't have. Like you can't treat it like a singing show because it's not a singing show. It's an everything show. It's a variety show. So the Real House of Lynn become animated cartoon drama.
You know what? That would probably fly. That would really probably fly.
That would be dope. That would be dope. That would be dope.
Could you imagine?
I mean, what do we have? What is it? What was it? Total Drama Island? Is that what that cartoon was called, or something like that? Like shoot, just go with that. If that's the case,
that would be hilarious. On so many. Could you imagine Nene as a cartoon character? You know they're gonna draw her with a big mouth.
Yep.
Oh,
That would
I mean,
actually
I
be.
don't.
I could see that really showing up on Adult Swim. Like it's. That's actually not a bad idea. Now that I think about it, like that would probably be and people would probably still watch it. They would still watch it because
I
like
probably watch that more than the actual show because I don't even watch the show.
exactly like
I just
the
know enough to know who Nene is.
like all the stars could just pretty much do their voice recording. Like like if they had like a sound studio set up at home or something, like they just do voice recording there, submit it, and they'd be good to go. Or like just do like virtual
Or they could do like Siri does, and they just get clips of them saying certain
yeah.
phrases and words and sounds and vowels and
Mm-hmm.
have them do
Yeah.
all that, and
Yeah.
then we just make it up as go along. We just keep got our own script happening.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh my goodness! But you know what show will work? But it will it will work. It'll be horrible, but it will work.
What?
The Masked Singer. You
That would
already wearing a
definitely.
mask.
Yeah, that would definitely work.
There you go.
You're already
Actually,
quarantined.
the Masked Singer was actually made for something like this. They could shoot. Everybody would just have to wear a mask at this point. That's all it would be. Everybody would just have to wear a mask at this point. That's all they would have
Yeah.
to do.
There you go.
It'd be different for a few reasons
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
because Nick Cannon was dropped,
Yeah.
but also there was
Nick.
no audience.
Mm-hmm.
But that would give the judges more room to spread out, though.
That's true also.
Oh, Nick Cannon. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Nicky.
Yeah. But things like RuPaul's Drag Race, Top Chef, Shark Tank. I don't even know if Shark Tank has new episodes.
I don't know either. I have no. Honestly, I thought about that too. I was like, yeah, Shark Tank could work because literally it's only a few people walking in at a time. But the thing is that I don't know if they actually are still doing Shark Tank. I legitimately have no clue.
I haven't watched in a while, so I have no idea either.
I have no clue, but I've seen them make some weird deals, and I'm like, how? Why? When?
Yeah.
Okay.
Watching them make them deals is funny. I ain't gonna lie. Watching them make some of them deals is hilarious. But
I'm like,
well, if you want to know something about like what Shark Tank is going to do, if you hadn't mentioned it already, that Shark Tank, according to Deadline.com, Shark Tank to film season 12 in Las Vegas under COVID-19 safety guidelines, and this
they're gonna have a big plexiglass box.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is actually like old news. This was released on July 27th, 2020, July 27th this year, and yeah. So that's what they're doing. They're gonna go on. They're gonna move on.
All right, so I can totally see them all separated by a plexiglass box.
Yep.
See how much hot air they put out.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be hilarious.
Gonna be a lot of dividers.
See their boxes fogging. Stuff like Survivor. I don't even know if Survivor even goes on, but I know the Amazing Race still happens.
Amazing Race. I don't know if Survivor still goes on myself. Like I'm looking at the shows. A lot of these shows that premiered from before in 2019 is like America's Most Musical Family. I've never even heard of this. What is this? What is that?
Most Musical Family.
Rhythm and Flow. I've heard of that. RuPaul's Drag Race UK. Flirty Dancing. Love Island. Dating Around. Like all these can't work.
Love Island, they said can work only because they would have to put everybody under quarantine restrictions first.
Mm-hmm.
I did read that because they're literally in an inclusive area. So it's only them and the crew. So that's the only people who have access to that area. So that's what they're saying. It would work, but all their contestants literally would have to be COVID tested and isolated prior to that.
Right. Well, so according to HollywoodReporter.com, Love Island quarantine season officially a go at CBS.
Yeah, you can do it. It's perfectly doable.
Yeah.
It's just and that's what a lot of these shows. The more I'm looking at it, the more doable it is. As long as the more remote it is. But a lot of these shows we already know aren't that remote.
Right.
Right.
You know, like you really aren't like, you know, I know what's that guy, Dirty Jobs guy is coming out with a new show. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not gonna be able to do that for long. I'm like, I know you're known for doing, you know, some disgusting things. You're
Yeah.
not gonna be able to do that for long because you can't get near people anymore like
Mm-hmm.
that.
I don't even know if Dr. Pimple Popper's still on. I haven't checked that out in a minute.
Ew.
Yeah, I'm with you on
Yeah.
that one. I'm good on that.
I don't know. I find it cathartic.
And I'll give you this. You can watch those. I watch people get their ears cleaned out.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
that's you. That's you.
Yeah, watching people get their ears cleaned out is that's so therapeutic to me. It's just sitting there watching them just get that all the wax kind of just pulled out of their ear.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah. You're nasty. I know. What are you gonna do? What's going on?
Like, because you know who likes to watch Dr. Pimple Popper, and I look at her like she's out of her freaking mind.
Oh no, I can't watch pimples. I can't do pimples. I don't like.
There's a catharsis to it.
No. You can keep the pimples.
Yeah.
The pimples are all you.
Just
All you too.
watching that nastiness just come out is like a breath of fresh.
Detoxifying.
It's like a breath of fresh air. It's like this crap is gone.
No, I can't do the popping. I can do the ears, but I can't do the popping.
Yeah.
I can do the wax.
I was watching that foot thing also. That foot one. That one was interesting.
Really? Yeah.
Foot one.
I forgot what it was called. Hold on, now I gotta look it up.
Yeah, old wax and dead bugs. Exactly, bearded beast. People get some weird stuff pulled out of their ears. I'm like, with all that hard wax. Like, thank goodness I don't have hard wax because I was.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thank goodness.
Oh man.
That's what it was called. My feet are killing me. That's what it was called. That show is wild. My feet are
killing me.
That show is crazy. Some people got some
Okay.
really jacked up feet.
Okay, I got a show for you guys. What about Hoarders?
Oh God.
God. Oh wow.
Look.
I can watch that better than all that other stuff, but it's still hard to watch.
I can watch Hoarders, but it's just something in me where it's like, I know you have an issue, but what is wrong with you? Why is there so much stuff in it? Like, I could deal if it's just like junk, if it's just like papers and like collectibles, and like if you just like pile your house up with like, you know, like a whole bunch of stuff that you just collected over the years, I can go with that. But when it's like when you start talking about like dirt and nastiness and all that stuff, like the one who was a poop hoarder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like at that point I was like, you might as well just burn the house down. That's it. Just burn it all. Like burn the house down and start new. That's it. You can't come back from this. Once you start doing that, like papers and stuff, papers, collectibles. Like I've seen episodes where people were collecting like old electronics and stuff, and just stacking their house up with that, like plastic, papers, like things like that. Okay, yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah,
I get that. You know, you can easily take that stuff out, but when we start hitting into the nastiness and like beds infested with bed bugs and like rats and like all this other stuff, all places not cleaned up, like nope, no, just burn it all and start fresh. That's it.
Right.
Just burn it all. Like, but I don't know. It's like I think I've watched regular Hoarders, but I don't think I've watched Hoarders Buried Alive. I think I may have watched.
That's very sad.
Yeah. Like
it's a very sad one, but I don't know how they would even film that because I know there's still people that are out there needing help.
Oh my God.
But you
at that point
you're gonna wear masks and everything else, but you have a different.
I would think at that point there's nothing you can do. Like if they're in a situation like that, especially what's going on right now, they're on their own. There's nothing you can do about that because like you're risking your health in more ways than one if you're going to help. Like again, like I said, if it's something that's like. If you're talking like periodicals and things like that, you can easily get rid of. Yeah, that's one thing. Like you can probably, you know, mask up and like go and like take care of something like that. But once we start talking like different odors and different types of viscous fluids and things like this, yeah, you might have a problem. You might want to reevaluate that. And I'm not gonna lie, I have watched a few episodes of My 600 Pound Life. Those are interesting.
Yeah.
Like it's just a lot. Yeah, I don't know. That's
I mean,
weird.
I don't even know what else is on right now because I don't necessarily. I stopped watching TV a long time ago.
I'm in the same boat too because we talked about this before. Like the only thing I'll watch on TV, like it'll probably just be Big Bang Theory, ridiculousness,
Yeah.
and that's really about it.
Ridiculousness.
Yeah, but I mean, even with ridiculousness, I don't even know. I'm good. I know. In fact, I know they just said they're coming back with some new episodes. I think starting next Monday. So, and I don't remember where ridiculousness is filmed. I want to assume that it's filmed in like New York or something like that. In fact, now I gotta look that up because I mean it's Rob Dyrdek, Steelo Brim, Chanel West Coast. So, and they're all pretty spaced out from each other. So I guess it's okay. And it's just like America's Funniest Home Videos. So they're just reviewing videos and stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess things like that. I
There's
just
only 4 of them. Yeah, so it's only a few of them they could probably do it.
yeah.
You know?
Right.
But I did think of another one that I actually watched, and that is my guilty pleasure. That's 90 Day Fiance. And I think that show is really gonna suffer. Mainly because a lot of it, especially before the 90 days, a lot of that it's gonna suffer because they go to the countries sometimes of the people that they're trying to marry.
Yeah.
To meet up with them and say before the 90 days, they usually, or even 90 days the other way, where they have to go to the country of the person that they're living with. And right now we're on restrictions, so literally a lot of countries are not letting us in.
Right.
And a lot of people are not able to fly out
Yeah.
to the U.S. So I think that a lot of that show's going to suffer. It's probably going to be on a repeat status or a remote status.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm yawning. It's the wine. It's not me.
Nope.
It's not me. It's the wine. But yeah, it's I think a lot of that's gonna suffer. A lot of that's gonna come back and really take a hit at that show because it has too many branches. There's 90 Day Fiance, 90 Days the Other Way, 90 Days Before the 90 Days, 90 Days Happily Ever After. There's so many branches of that, and then they have shows where literally they break off shows. Another show. I remember Chantel had a show with her husband at one point. I can't think of the twin sister's name right now. They have a show coming out. They have a lot of branch shows from there. And
yeah. And that's the other thing to look at too. Like a lot of these shows tend to branch off and stuff after a while. Then it's like, I don't know.
How do you maintain that? Because a lot of these people don't live in states. Like I think one of them lives in New York. I know Chantel lives in Georgia, so that doesn't make a difference. But a lot. I think one of them was in New York or one of the New England states. You have to kind of look at that, because a lot of people will not be able to leave their state.
Right.
Right.
Will not be able to go to the country. That's a third world country, like if it's one of the Philippines or, Russia.
They have a vaccine apparently.
Yeah.
Russia.
Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah, they have the vaccine.
But it's you're gonna have these people going unless you go into like a country where legitimately just don't care.
Yeah.
A lot of the countries are not letting us in.
Exactly.
So, and I'm not sure a lot of their countries will let them out if they're on a 90-day visa. How is that affecting a lot of this 90-day visa process for a lot of people? The fiance visa process, because they have to come over here and they have to get married within 90 days.
Right.
So how does the production even do that? They have to get on a plane. They have to film this. How do you do all this? Because you won't be able to go out. A lot of people on restriction are sitting in their own houses.
Well, as you mentioned, with the Kardashians, filming. Khloe Kardashian talks filming Keeping Up with the Kardashians in Quarantine, Daughter True, and more. Now, this was released on July the 16th, so I don't know how true it is right now. This is on e.com. It says, during Khloe Kardashian's virtual visit to Daily Pop, the Keeping Up with the Kardashians star gave an update on how her family is doing amid the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. While the mother of one seems to be flourishing in self-isolation, cue the video of her running up a hill, dragging her daughter True Thompson in a wagon. She revealed it's been harder than her social media content lets on. So, she said she chilled for about a month. She's like, you know what? Let's all buckle down. Like, a lot of bad things are happening. Let's stay home and do this. The reality TV Maven told E's own Justin Sylvester. And then after a month, I was like, I think I'm going to go crazy sitting here. I have to do something. If you want to read the rest, it's on e.com.
Another show that I usually watch, and that's because I'm a magic freak. I love magic, and I actually seen these two actually live, and that's Penn and Teller. I watched Penn and Teller Pull Up, and they actually halted their productions right now. And I was actually reading the interview while you were talking. I was reading the interview that he did for Miami CBS Local, and they basically were saying that him and Teller are coming up with tricks and stuff through Zoom, but it doesn't seem like they're actually going to be doing any more production right now on the show at the moment. He's ready to get back in the studio, but it's not logical at this time. So, and he wants to get back on stage. So I think I'm not sure if they may be going back into doing their own stage show versus doing the actual production show either. So that might be something that may or may not come back with a new season. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen. It's a lot of these shows that are airing. They're airing new episodes actually, and I'm going to run through a few lists of these coming. That's June. What month are we in? We're in August?
We're in August.
Yeah. Time is just blurring. Time is just blurring together.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Let's see here. August. What day is it? The 13th? One day from a Friday the 13th. Darn. Oh, Selena and Chef actually premiered on HBO Max, which I actually saw the commercial for that today. And that looks interesting because she's doing it over Zoom. So she has friends over, whatever. She has chefs that are kind of helping her learn how to cook. She doesn't know how to. So I think that would be interesting to watch. The World's Toughest Race comes on Amazon August 14th. 66 teams with 30 countries race nonstop for 11 days, 24 hours a day.
Wow.
Weird But True is on Disney Plus. That comes out the 14th. The Circus comes on Showtime August 16th.
What?
So behind the scenes as Trump and Biden campaigns hurtle towards a historic election day in November. I guess that's why they call it the Circus, I guess.
Yeah, this sounds be great.
That's gonna be dope.
Yeah, Darcy and Stacy, that was the actual show I was talking about, the spinoff from 90 Day. They're twins. Comes out August 16th. What in the world? Bad Chad. I'm wondering if it's Customs or Customs. I think there might be Customs. Bigger and better, more ingenious bills than ever. I'm thinking it might be Customs. I'm trying to look for any reality TV. I Quit, which sounds interesting. It's a Discovery Channel show. Comes on the 18th. Entrepreneurs from 6 different businesses risk it all when they give up their steady 9-to-5 jobs to follow their passions on a life-changing journey.
Wow. That sounds
interesting.
Very interesting.
Especially because it happened prior to, you know what.
Yeah.
So this will be interesting to see how that changes. That's a documentary. But you would like this one, Harold. Comes a High Score, a documentary series about the golden age of video games where legends from Pac-Man and Doom were brought to life.
Woo!
What's that called?
It's called High Score.
High Score.
Oh, okay.
High Score. It's on Netflix.
Sweet.
Yeah. Trying to see if anybody Dodgeball Thunderdome, which I probably, if I knew about this, I probably would have gone on this show. Comes out August 19th. Discovery. Contestants have a chance to claim glory in extraordinary challenges where strength matters, but also the strategy, quick thinking, and willingness to leave everything on the field. I probably would have done this show. I really would, because it sounds like a whole game. It sounds like the whole Dodgeball movie in a nutshell. I totally would have done that. Then they have a Belushi show about Jim Belushi and his marijuana farm.
Wow.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Guess I gotta grab at anything at this point.
RuPaul Drag Race Vegas review is coming out on August 21st on VH1. 100 Days in the Wild on Discovery, August 21st. 100 Days to Work Together, Gather and Build Before the Brutal Arctic Freeze. The Vow follows a range of people who joined self-improvement group, which has been under siege with various charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy.
Wow.
That might be interesting to watch. That's on HBO. Alaskan Bush People comes out on the 23rd for Discovery. There goes your Love Island, of course. That comes out on the August 24th. Trying to see if there's anything else. Top Gear is coming back on BBC America August 30th.
Really?
I love the BBC version of Top Gear. I do not like the American version of Top Gear. I think the BBC version is more hilarious. I'm a semi-gearhead. Don't mind me. Trying to think. You have a couple of Super Nanny comes on September 1st.
What?
Super Nanny. You know, the ones that they help. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. There's a Dr. Pimple Popper that comes out September 3rd.
Word. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get it. Need more catharsis. Let's go. Get the nastiness out. Get it out.
Oh man. Trying to see. Deaf You comes out October 20th. A group of friends navigate highs and lows of hookups and college life together.
Okay.
Oh, they're in the deaf community. That's why.
Oh, interesting.
These are all people in the deaf community.
Interesting. All right.
Trying to see if there's anything else I missed in here that looks anywhere near interesting. But yeah, there's your Mike Peter Killing You show comes out September 10th.
Yeah, I haven't watched that in a while. I need to catch up.
Buried in the Backyard.
Huh?
Bears in the backyard.
Buried in the Backyard.
Oh, buried.
What are we talking about here? What's going on?
A chilling police investigation where a victim is found buried in the most unexpected place. Gotta love Oxygen.
Yeah.
Ghosted Love Gone Missing, which I like the show, I like it, but I don't like it. Ghosted for me, it was like Catfish, but stupid. Stalker.
Well, Catfish light, basically.
Yeah. No, it was stalkerish. It's more stalkerish.
Oh.
It's like, it's Catfish in reverse. Not really Catfish in reverse, because you already know who the people are. Everybody knows everybody's involved. The problem is that one person just up and leaves one day and never says anything, just like, I'm gone. And the person's like, oh, I need to know why you ghosted me. Like, come on now.
Like, do you really need me to tell you
really
why?
Care? I mean, do you really want to know? You want to embarrass yourself?
It's like, I really need to know, but it feels like stalking. That's what it feels like to me.
Right.
It feels like stalking, but again, that's another show I don't think will survive once this is over, because there's a lot of interviewing going on. It's a lot of back and forth, and literally at the end of the show, what do? They put face to face, facing each other.
Yeah.
And they say, do you want to still? They have a conversation back and forth, and they're like, do you want to stay? You want to keep in touch? Do you want to ghost? But there has to be dialogue. You can't do that through Zoom because you can't control it.
Right.
Just trying to see anything else that's coming on right now. But a lot of these shows, again, I'm looking at them. Are a lot of these shows going to be filmed again? You know, a lot of these shows going to be filmed, or a lot of these shows going to happen again? Probably not.
No.
Probably not. After these are shows that have already been filmed and set to be released this year.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of these shows are actually going to stay once we get back. We're not even going to see half of these.
Well, about 8 hours ago on showbizcheatsheet.com, TLC announced when Little People, Big World will return.
Oh boy.
It says those who have been keeping up with the Roloffs for years are excited to hear about what's next for the family. And it looks like Little People, Big World is returning shortly. So what can fans expect to see in the new season? And which storylines will be heavily featured? Here's what we know so far. Okay, TLC. Okay, Tori Roloff announced when. Okay, let's see. We'll roll down. Okay, it's supposed to be slated to return on September the 29th on TLC. And according to the TLC press release, the new season will mark the end of an era, quote unquote, end of an era for the show, as the times are seriously changing.
Yeah, because that's about right.
Yeah.
So if you want to, anybody who's watching, if you want to see more about that, if you want to read more about that, go to cheatsheet.com and find out the fate of Little People, Big World.
Yeah, and that sounds about right, because it sounds like as though they no longer will be able to record that show.
Right.
Due to the restrictions.
Right.
Or even because that, the show has probably run its course at this point. But, a lot of these shows are probably not going to be coming back next year.
No, I don't imagine them coming back next year.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not going to go as far as say this is probably the death of reality TV, because they're always going to find a way to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're always going to find a way to record and broadcast something. It'll probably be. Yeah. This will probably be a long stretch where we won't have anything reality TV related. Like talk shows, as we said, they can always work around that. Like Zoom calls, whatever, virtual, like that. That's how those things have been working right now. But reality TV shows, which are based on interactions, like physical interactions with other people, you can't really sustain that. In this climate, I'm like, if film and TV productions had to shut down because of COVID, you really can't sit there and say that a reality TV show is going to be able to go against those restrictions or bypass those restrictions to record their stuff. No, it's not going to work that way.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. Is absolutely not. There's even if you, like I said, you social distance, like you do it, you do like on a plane, every other seat. I'm like, you're still going to have people sitting in front of you.
Exactly.
Right.
You're still going to have people sitting behind you. I'm like, there's still going to be that case, because you can do every other seat all you want to. You're still going to have that moment where you're not going to be 6 feet away from anybody else.
Exactly.
The same thing is that they're going to want to see their face on TV. If I go on television and I get called up on The Price is Right, I want you to see my face.
Yeah.
I want you to see me fall down the stairs. I want you to know it was me that fell.
Yeah. Those are always fun to watch. Yeah.
I want, you already know I'm not clumsy and it's gonna happen. I don't wear they know I don't wear sneakers well. I don't wear sneakers well. So you're gonna ask me to walk down them stairs in sneakers? I already know I'm falling. It's not, no question. It's gonna happen.
Oh, no.
I went to medieval times in heels.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, so I want y'all to know that was me that fell. I don't care if I'm going to be embarrassed for the rest of my life. I want you to know it was me. I'm like, it's like the same thing if you win. You don't want to be the person in the mask that said, "Oh yeah, that was him." Was that really you, or was that somebody else that had your name?
Exactly.
I'm like, I want you to see me. So, like game shows and things like that, I want you to know that's me that got that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can understand being on Maury and having a mask on. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know who my dad. I don't know who the baby's daddy is, but you don't know who I am right now.
Right.
Him. Just on a first name basis, I can get that.
Yeah.
But you still have topics, you still have stuff like that. Like even court, court.
These court shows. Yeah.
Court shows.
Court and courts are right now, for the most part, courts are not running the way they are usually running.
Nope.
Normally. Right now, courts are not running the way they are normally. So courts are literally limiting sessions. They are working remotely. They're doing a lot of stuff.
Yep.
How do you now go into a courtroom for a arbitrator? That's really what most of these people are. Going in for an arbitrator, and usually they have people in the background sitting. You're not going to have people in the back in the gallery sitting anymore. You're not going to have that.
Right.
You're going to have just the defendant and the plaintiff, the bailiff, and the judge. That's it.
Well, it looks like divorce court is going back into production despite what's going on. According to 11alive.com, 11alive.com, 11 Alive is a channel over in Atlanta, where I used to live.
And the question is that do you have people in the gallery? Once again, it's Atlanta, of course.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't give any details as to how they're going to do it. But a rep for the show tells the A scene that producers are currently casting for guests who want to appear on the show. So that's all we know right now.
Oh goodness! Yeah, like I said, it is Atlanta. I had to think about it for a second. I was like, hold on, it's Atlanta.
Yeah,
Atlanta and Florida like this.
Yeah, hell in a handbasket.
Yeah,
they're cousins. They're cousins. They're they're hanging out, with their bro bit.
Oh man.
But it's like you have the ones that are filmed in New York.
Right.
Those are like, you have the People's Court, for instance. It's filmed in New York. No.
Nah.
I'm like, do you really think they're gonna let that happen?
Right.
It's a lot of stuff is gonna, those again. You look at the audience, and a lot of the audience does give the feedback to the judges. Like Judge Judy is a good one, that when she makes a good witty comment, the gallery is all on it. Like, You're not gonna have that. You're gonna have literally just her and whoever's in the court.
Yeah.
And again, are they wearing masks? Are they not wearing masks? Are they in there? Is the bailiff wearing a mask? Is the judge wearing a mask?
I mean, it's all insane. It's really all ridiculous. And
do I put on makeup only to here?
Exactly. Like, you gotta do like the Batman eyeshadow type thing. Like, you gotta do that.
So I put my makeup only to here that way because I want to wear a mask anyway. And that would be hilarious. You take your mask off, you got your full foundation, lipstick, and everything on that on the other side of it. Like, yeah, come on now. Like, it makes it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. And a lot of the judges are older.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're older. I'm not gonna say all of them. A lot of them are older judges, and they're more high risk. So I'd be more concerned about people like Judge Judy, for instance, because of the fact of her age.
Right.
You definitely don't want to walk into a situation like that and, get sick.
Exactly.
Just from doing your job, from doing what you want to do. So I would definitely, I'd be concerned about a lot of people, a lot of the hosts of these shows. A lot of the hosts, they are the bread and butter of the shows.
Yeah.
Right.
And if they get sick, the show stops.
Exactly.
Yep.
Look what happened with Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams had to have people cover her show for a while.
Yeah.
She had that faint attack.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You can't only do that for so long because you can only rotate so many people out.
Exactly.
True.
So, that's another show. I'm hoping that goes away.
Yeah. Well, there is possibility that the Ellen show is probably going to be out on the streets.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm very shocked at that. I was very shocked at that news. I was extremely shocked at that news.
I didn't realize that show was on for such a long time. I mean, when you don't watch these things, you never realize exactly how long a lot of these things have been on. Like, I had no idea Ellen was on for that long. She's been on for like how many seasons? Like,
I don't know.
And you would figure that type of show is like the way she is and everything, you figure like okay, behind the scenes it must be like banging, it's a
17 years.
Jesus Christ.
It seemed like it was such a nice, you would figure that it was a nice place to work because of how she comes across and how generous she is. But man, wow, the things you find out.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes. I mean, and I'm not sure, to be honest with you, I'm not sure how much of it is
true.
I don't know. I'm only getting pieces and bits of it. I'm not sure how much of it is just the racial issue versus her just being like, a Miranda Presley. Sorry. Devil Wears Prada.
I was about to say, who the heck is that?
Devil Wears Prada reference. So basically, if you wear Devil Wears Prada, Miranda Presley is the boss.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very stone cold, very high strung, very much, but a lot of things going on in the background. But she has to appear strong when she's in front of other people. She has to appear very demanding and very, So I'm not sure if that's the persona that's being portrayed while she's there in order to keep the show running and keep it a certain way, or the way that she likes it, or if it legitimately is that's her personality.
Right. Yeah, and it's very hard to make a judgment call on that because we don't know. We're like, all we're hearing is really hearsay. That's all we're hearing. So, I mean, just like you said, Harold, like, we spent all these years looking at Ellen as like one of the super nicest talk show hosts that are out there. Like, she's like that one person that everybody
controversial.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, that's Dory.
Oh, exactly the point.
Yeah.
Swimming.
I mean, I didn't watch your show. I mean, then again, I don't really want to watch a lot of talk shows. Like,
I watch a lot.
I mean, I was never big on the Steve Harvey talk show. Like, I was never big on that. So I mean,
I'm not big on that for obvious reasons.
So it's like, but it's just surprising to hear about that.
And like I said, it's more so we need to hear more.
Right.
More addition to that. Same thing, but like things like The View and The Talk and all those.
Well, those the View and The Talk, no. I could definitely do without those. Like,
Really? I love The View.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I love it. I love The View. That's the one thing I miss about not having. Like, I could probably go back and watch older episodes, but I love watching The View. I enjoy their conversations. I enjoy the talk. I enjoy all that stuff. Because it's like, I guess, I don't know. Because it's not like girl talk. It's like legitimately like they talk about issues, and I enjoy it. Like from a.
Well, I give it to Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar because they seem to be the only
the only ones that carrying it.
Real legit ones on that show. Like, I don't even know who else is on that show. Like Meghan McCain, is that it? Is that like?
Meghan McCain was.
I don't know how the hell she ended up on that. I don't know how she got that gig. That's just beyond me. But I don't know. It's I don't know. But
I mean, they're showing stuff. They're doing it right now, social distance style, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
But again, I would totally, and believe it or not, the highest paid person on that show is Whoopi.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep.
You know, Whoopi is the highest paid person on the show. FYI, go Whoopi.
Mm-hmm.
Go Whoopi.
You know, but I totally, you know, without that audience, I don't know how long that show's gonna keep going.
Exactly.
It's more so that audience participation, that stuff. Same thing with the doctors. I'm like,
Yeah. Even though I never watched
watch
it.
the doctors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't listen to them. I don't pay attention to them. They make no sense to me anymore.
Those doctors, Dr. Oz, like any of them doctors, like
Oz.
I was never with that, never for that. But you know,
people watch it. People enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you enjoy it. I mean, I can see the entertainment value in it.
Right.
That's what I see it for. But as far as that's concerned, I'm like, you know, you have a lot of that is audience participation. A lot of audience, them talking to the audience, not talking to you. I was like, you're talking to the audience. And you know, asking questions. Audience, you know, that's literally what a lot of that stuff is. And you're losing out on that when you get back. Again, how long can you keep it before people kind of lose interest?
Yeah.
Because like I said, watching Catfish, I saw one episode. I don't think I'm going to watch the rest of the season. I think I'm done with the rest of the season. I think this is kind of it for me. That this is going to be what Catfish is going to be going for, because that was the joy of it. Was basically them popping from one city to the next, hopping on a plane, going in here, grabbing the person, having this conversation, hopping on another plane.
Right.
You know, that whole, you know, I think the best one was when they went to Alaska. Oh, no, wait, no. Actually, no. Tracy Barbie. That was the best one.
Do I remember that
girl
one?
was crazy.
Tracy Barbie?
Oh, yeah. You remember that one. That was the girl that she stole the girl's pictures and pretended she told people to basically off themselves.
Oh, that chick.
And she laughed uncontrollably.
I don't normally say this about people, but she probably could have sniped her out. Like I'm just being real, because that girl has some issues. Like I think she even ended up on Dr. Phil at some point.
Yeah, she was on Dr. Phil, and I believe she's married now. From what I understand.
Really?
Like,
yeah, I believe she's married.
This chick is Looney Tunes. Like it like she makes Harley Quinn look like a legit doctor.
When she got caught, she got caught. She got caught. She's like, "Oh my God, you guys are here!"
Yeah, it was like watching that just makes you infuriated. It's infuriating enough. Like she's that bad. It was. I remember the first time I seen it, I was like, "You have got to be kidding me with this! Like, no, this girl needs to go. She has to go." Like, no, like I mean, like
Tracy is wild.
Like,
Tracy, I don't know if she's still wild, but even if you saw her, I followed her on Facebook for a while after a certain point, because it was just reading the stuff she put on Facebook was insane.
Yeah. Like I don't know if she had a YouTube channel or something like that. I know she has some type of video platform.
She had Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram
and Facebook.
So she was just like wild.
Like that, I think was the best episode. That in the first episode where the cousin was pretending to be.
That is the most hilarious episode I've ever seen on Catfish. Like, never should have called me a fat ass Kelly Price. I'm like, what? Really? This is what we doing now? Because she called you a fat ass Kelly Price. So you mad about that? So you put a whole Catfish arrangement out. Wow. Like, y'all is petty as hell. I think my other favorite episode is there's like this guy, I think he was trying to be some like fake musical artist. And, like, the girl and Neve confronted him, and he was, like, busy on his phone. Neve grabbed the dude's phone and threw it in the water. I was like, well.
Oh, yes, because they actually confronted his.
Yeah.
I remember that they confronted the real guy at first.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, that's not me.
Yeah.
He's like, that is not me. But I think I know who that is.
I was like, yeah. Yeah.
Man.
I never laughed so hard in my life watching that episode. It was hilarious. Like, he threw his whole iPhone in the water. I'm like, well, that's what happens, bro. Like, it is what it is.
He was done. He was over. It was like, I'll buy you a new iPhone. I don't care.
Yeah. And then,
I'll buy you a new
like the
one.
producers try to be like, bro, you can't do it. I'm like, fuck out of here. I'm like, this dude wastes my whole damn time. Like Catfish is Catfish, a show like that is
That's
gonna be,
a good guilty pleasure, but I mean,
yeah.
it's not anymore. Like
Yeah.
that, the whole interactions from people meeting each other face to face for the first time, when they walk up to each other and they see each other for the first time, and they're like,
Yeah.
bruh.
It's real. It's real wild.
And then you have the few where they are the people they say they are.
Yep.
You have the few. You know, you have your return catfishes. But, you know, you have your few that legitimately, you know, I love them when they're female and turn out to be a male.
Yeah, those are funny. Those are always funny. Like, I think there was this one white dude was posing as a girl, and he tricked this one black dude, and then he showed up clapping his hands like he done like committed the ultimate crime. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I'm like, dude, you're not a mastermind.
Came out of his whole garage.
I was like, are you serious right now? Like, what are you doing? Catfish is special. Catfish is special. That's definitely a show that relies heavily on being in person. So I don't know.
And if you watch, and I'm telling you, anybody, I don't care who you are, if you go and watch this episode is so bad. It takes out all the drama. At one point, they're showing Neve and the co-host doing the exercises. I'm like, I'm gonna go wash my dishes. Like, that's literally what I said. I was like, I'm gonna wash dishes.
Bearded Beast is like, what about Dr. Phil?
Yeah, Dr. Phil is like, again, but Dr. Phil, the one thing I love about Dr. Phil is that he technically doesn't need an audience because he's so monotonous. He doesn't feed off of his audience.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He just flat out calls you a name and you're just like, okay. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he could probably do his show from a Zoom and people would still watch it.
Yeah.
Because he's just so offensive and just a flat voice.
Yeah.
He could be completely offensive in a flat voice. And I watch Dr. Phil on occasions, like a Tracy Barbie episode where he's just calling her out.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a couple of other episodes, people like, I can't control my kid and all sort of stuff. Like, you see people, you're just like, Dr. Phil's like,
yeah.
Like, you could tell when he's getting to that point, like, automatically he's gonna turn the volume right up and he's gonna turn it real fast and then turn it right back down.
Yeah.
Like, I watch him just for those scenes. I can't watch his entire show though because it's just too much.
It is.
It reminds me of those like episodes, you know, of who used to send kids to boot camp? Was that that was
Maury. That was Maury.
Was it Maury?
Yeah, with
what's his face? What's the black guy's name?
D West?
No, not D West. The one that used to bring on the psychic all the time.
Montel Williams.
Montel Williams used to be all the time too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Actually, towards the end of his career, that's all he was doing. He was just having her come on the show. I'm like, who is this chick? Why is she always here? Like,
yeah, he used to have that psychic come on all the time.
But no, I remember when Maury used to send. Wait, was that Maury? Yeah, he used to have all them problem kids. He used to have a lot of them problem kids come on the show, and then he would call his boy D West, who I think lives in Montclair, if I'm not mistaken, because I've seen him a lot in Montclair. But like, he used to come in. They used to go to like jails and stuff, and I'm like, okay. Until Scared Straight came out, and then I was like, well, just don't need to do that no more. Maury used to do a lot. Maury used to have a lot on his show. He used to have like those people with special talents come out on the show. Problem kids. He used to have
now it's all the same stuff. It's now also the same content.
Yeah.
I remember like I used to like the episodes where he used to have like men and women come out and you had to guess whether they were a man or a woman. Yeah. I used to live for those.
You used to do those, and Ricky Lake used to do them.
I used to live for those. I was like,
Ricky Lake used to do that all the time. I used to love those where you couldn't tell if they're a man or a woman. I used to love those because I'm like, that's what made me really look at, you know, the trans people, because I'm like, I need to do some work. Because
I'll be sitting here like, is that a man?
I need to do some work.
That can't be no man. Then it's a man. I'm like, what?
Then you're like, okay, I'm questioning myself.
It's like, no, we have the new version now. It's called K-pop. Like you're looking at the boys and you're like, I don't
Yeah.
know if that's a girl or a guy.
Yeah.
Girl.
Now all Maury does is the paternity test. Like that, he might as well just turn it into the paternity show. That's all he really has to do.
Because that's all he does. Is
That's
paternity
really
test.
all he does.
The
He don't
lie
do nothing
detector
else.
test.
Yeah.
Lie detector test and paternity test is all he does. And it's like, I wish he would go back to the old format of like
Yeah.
going at it, but something must have happened.
Right.
Something
Like-
had to have happened.
Like the paternity shows must have like really drove the numbers because apparently people, if you have time during the day and you can watch Maury, then you're obviously gonna watch Maury for the paternity test.
It
Because
used to come on twice. It used to
did.
Be come on at 9 o'clock,
Mhm.
and then at 10. You have to have 9 o'clock and a 10 o'clock show. If you missed the 9 o'clock show, you were getting a repeat at 10. And you
Yeah.
had to get up and watch the 9. And then they changed it, I think, from 10 to 11 or something
Yep.
like that. Something happened, and they changed 10 to 11. And if you missed the first show was always a new one. The second show was always a repeat.
Yep.
So you always missed that first show. And this is back before we had DVRs.
Yeah.
I was on Maury once in the audience.
I was to say what? It was like,
I think it was in the audience maybe like several times. It was a nice little gig. They gave you, made a little $50, a little $75, you know.
now they just giveaway tickets because they moved to Connecticut, didn't they?
Yeah, they've been in Connecticut. Yep.
I thought they were in New York for a while and they moved to Connecticut.
No, when I went there, what they did was like they would send me an email or they give me a call asking me if I wanted to be part of the audience. Mostly it was for this show called Trish, and it was Trisha. Trish. It was a black female from London. She had that British accent, and I did a lot of the Trish show. And I did do a couple of episodes of Maury where I was just sitting in the audience, and they would have us meet the production people at the coordinator at a big bus next to the was the Old Navy on 32nd, I believe. And you pile in, gave your name, gave them your confirmation number, because they give you a confirmation number. You load up onto the bus, they take you to the studio, and then they have you wait there for a little bit. If they keep you over for 2 shows, they not only do they pay you, they also feed you. They always gave us pizza all the time, pizza and soda.
Nice.
And we would break for lunch or break for whatever, and then go back. Either we would go back for the second show, or we would just pile into the bus and go back to New York. And they called me like for like a good 2 months straight. So I made that little extra $75. So it was pretty cool.
Yes, it was actually for the first 18 seasons. It wasn't in New York. I remember that. It wasn't in New York for the first 18. From the 19th season on, it went to Connecticut.
Yeah, it was the
Hotel
the studio was in Connecticut. The studio was in Connecticut. So it was a nice little like
yeah, I'm saying from where you went probably was the Connecticut one, but originally it used to be in New York.
Originally, yes.
Yeah, originally it used to be in New York. I remember it used to be in New York, and because I wanted to go, and I'm like, when I went to Connecticut, I was like, I'm not going to Connecticut. I think it was like 2009 or something like that.
Right.
I think it was a lot of things that happened. I think Sally Jesse and all that stuff all kind of mixed in with a lot of what was going on, and the whole thing with the Jerry Springer show and everything else. I think it's a whole lot of mess.
I'm looking through all these old talk shows right now. Did anybody watch the Lily Singh talk show?
Who?
Lily Singh. Yeah, I guess that.
Lily Singh.
Answer that question.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
She had a brilliant YouTube channel.
She did, yeah.
Which is what she should have stuck with.
Yeah.
And then when she had her own show, come to find out that that she really number one, her studio wasn't that big. It didn't have like a whole lot of people in it, and every time like when someone would say something bad about her show, she would like react in some kind of way, and it was but I mean she really should have just stuck with YouTube, because that was her strong point, because her she would try to do the talk show thing and try to be funny, and it really was not working. Some people are just made for YouTube and YouTube alone. Case in point, I was watching an interview with my boy Markiplier. He was being interviewed on the Late Show on channel 2,
Mhm.
and he just seemed so uncomfortable being interviewed. He just did not seem like and I was like, you know what, dude, you're a YouTuber. You know you're a YouTuber when you don't really do well. I just noticed this with YouTubers. They don't do well outside of their YouTube
And social situations.
It's very like touch and go depending on what kind of YouTuber you are. Like someone like Markiplier or PewDiePie or like Lily Singh, especially like those are people that like got their exposure from the YouTube platform. Like they didn't have an audience. They didn't have like the audience was the people watching, like that like clicked on their video and stuff like that. So like someone like Markiplier or PewDiePie who just basically made their living from playing video games. It's kind of rough to make that transition. Like it's different from when celebrities who started like in film and TV get their own YouTube channel and stuff like that. It's different. But when you start on the platform and then try to branch out into other things, it becomes difficult. It becomes very difficult, and I don't know.
I mean, I think it's just a different platform entirely. If you do a platform where you're used to interviewing people, because there are YouTubers that's what they do. They're interviewing people. They're interviewed.
That's true. Also,
there are those types of YouTubers, but as far as like you said, people that are not social people, like if I were to be interviewed right now, there's a 50-50 chance of how it's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been interviewed before. So it's a 50-50 chance of how it's going to go. It can either go, depending how much liquor I have in my system, it could be hilarious.
Right.
Or it could be terrible, because more than likely I'll probably be drinking before the show because I probably wouldn't be sober. But, but it's the same thing, because again, it's more so I'm not used to talking about myself.
Right.
I'm used to talking about my craft. I'm used to talking about what I'm doing and if I'm especially if you're a gamer, you're not a social person. Let's throw it out. You're not going to be a completely social person. Like you can be social with your friends and in certain social situations, but most people, I'm not going to say all, but most people are not completely social.
Yeah.
So
and with the way things are right now, it's just magnifying that aspect too, because now it's like don't really need to be outside, so I'm just gonna just stick to recording. That's all I'm gonna do.
All right. So favorite reality shows.
90 Days on my top.
90 Days.
90 Days. 90 Day
Fiancé. I'll say I guess wrestling.
My favorite all-time reality show is MTV's Fear. I loved MTV's Fear. So contestants are blindfolded and led by guides to a supposed haunted area, and they're instructed to remove their blindfolds after a predetermined amount of time, allowing the guides to slip out unseen. Now I'm reading this from off of Wikipedia because I figured if I read this would be a best description of it. Okay, the area where they are taken to is known as a safe house, usually a large room.
Oh, is that the one where they put them through stuff like they bury them alive and they
not exactly. What they do is like they'll put them like within a location where like supposedly haunted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they put that's what I'm saying. They used to like they'll make them go through some wild trials. Like I remember there was one where they put somebody in an actual coffin and they made somebody throw dirt on them, and they had to stay down there for a certain amount of time before they came back and got them.
Right.
They had to go through all the tasks, and I remember that show.
I didn't know, but see, the thing is, I didn't know which was scarier, when the missions that they went on, or the freaking voice of the computer that would send them on their missions.
But there's another show that's like that as well, and I forget, it's with two sisters, and it's the same type of thing. They send them on these like quests, and it's like through these like scare zones and stuff like that where people like freaking them out. I just got to think of the name of it though. But it's the same type of thing where they send them through these places and they're literally have to complete these tasks within a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Or they fail. But the difference is that but I think I prefer that show more than the MTV show, because the MTV show, I just like, it was just like, for me, I was like, I'm not gonna say how old I was when that came out, but
Yeah, it was pretty old.
Yeah, but yeah, you're sitting there as a younger me, and you're going like, I can do this.
Right.
It's not bad, But then I'm also I'm also a horror freak. So for me, I walk through a cemetery at night. It doesn't bother me.
Okay.
So I find that more peaceful because I don't have any people near me.
Right.
But again, you're talking about a different type of scenario. I guess I wouldn't be a ideal contestant for that because of the fact that some of the stuff they would do would not necessarily scare me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like each person was like assigned a color.
Yeah.
And like say like you have like red, blue, and gold.
And then they made you go together.
Yeah. like red must go down into the well where it's supposedly haunted.
Yes. They
Yellow
give you, like,
will guide.
Story. Yeah. They give you these wild stories about it, and they'll tell you the stories before you go do it, and then you go do it. They say, oh yeah, apparently what happened here is that this person fell into the well, banged their head against 5 different stones, and then died in the well, and they found her 5 days later. and she's been known to hear screams coming out of the well, and I'm like, now you must climb down the well, like
to determine if the ghost of the dead woman is still there. Yellow will guide.
Yeah, it's like
that was freaky. It freaked me out, man.
Yeah, but it's like, you do it, like, you listen to the task and people like freaking out, like, oh my god, it's like, hey, what's up? You here?
Yeah, my favorite one was that black kid that was scared to rip the tarp off of the electric chair.
Yeah.
And when he pulled the tarp, the chair moved.
Oh yeah, he was scared.
Yeah, he was scared.
No, he flipped out. I remember that. Yeah, he almost peed himself, pretty much. He almost peed himself. It literally took that took a lot out of him to do that. But I mean, it was fun to watch while it lasted. I mean, I used to watch The Real World back in the day.
Yeah.
That, like, the first couple of seasons, not the
Did you see the one with Puck?
I wouldn't remember names if I
okay. Well, my favorite one was the one in Hawaii. I love the one in Hawaii because I had a crush on Ruthie, and I was a little upset because she wasn't into guys. So, and then my man Tech Money, that was my man. Tech,
yeah,
that was my dude.
I remember Ruthie. So I remember that. If I remember Ruthie, I remember that season. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I remember Ruthie because she was adorable. She was really adorable.
Yeah, she was cute.
Yeah, I'm like, but it's a lot of people that came out, like Tila Tequila and all that stuff came out of all that stuff. Oh.
Yeah. What is she doing now? Like, where is she in life?
You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
She saved.
Oh, wait a second. Ain't she like yeah, she like
hardcore.
Yeah, she like
Christian now. She don't do the life no more.
Yeah, she like super Christian, conservative, and all that stuff, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, so much for that.
Okay. I wish I could record that because what one of you was like, and the other one was like, woohoo! That was
funny.
Oh man, you probably have to go get a screen grab from that later.
Yeah. It's very interesting stuff there. Interesting stuff. I don't know what else to say on that one.
Yeah, but I think also, like I said, I like the BBC Top Gear. I love Top Gear. For me, like I said, I'm a semi gearhead. So for me watching them, because they do these weird, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but they do like these weird challenges for BBC, for the BBC version. And they'll be like, let's take this old jalopy and let's try to, modify it so it can race, down this, curvy hill, and who doesn't flip over and die wins. Like,
Yeah.
okay, sure, why not? Let's watch this. Let's watch this. But I prefer them because they don't have as many regulations, and their humor can be a little bit more raunchy than the American humor. So I prefer watching their version over anything else. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I watch besides, like I can't even say that Catfish is my favorite anymore because I'm really probably not going to watch the season. Probably Hell's Kitchen. I'll watch again. I like watching them. So that's just for the insults though, not for anything for the insults.
You know what you are? A moron. Are you bloody stupid?
I don't know how that guy doesn't have high blood pressure.
Yeah.
Unless it's just an act.
But even then, your blood pressure shoots up high. Your blood pressure can shoot up super high, even if you are like his veins are popping when he's yelling at people.
Yeah.
That's probably some good acting. I mean, because I don't think he did it. I don't think he did that with the kids when they had like Hell's Kitchen, like Junior or some mess like that.
No, he could.
He didn't do it with them.
He's not because he's a parent. He's not going to do that. He's not going to hurt the baby.
They canceled that show real fast. Like if he did it that way.
But it was also he also did another show where he did like the not the hotels but like the restaurants around I forgot what it was called, where he went around and did restaurants,
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I totally forgot what it was called, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, he saved the restaurants. He also saved hotels sometimes depending on where they were.
Right.
Certain different areas. But it's like I love that because, again, the insults. It's just the insults alone. I don't know why. It's just like British people can insult you and you're like you can be offended, but it takes you a minute to be offended. Like,
did he just insult me? It sounded so elegant. Did that happen? Like, I don't know. I'm confused.
Yeah, it's like, and you watch them. It takes them a minute because there was one episode where, and I think I gotta remember what this place was, where it was a husband and wife combo, and they own this restaurant, and all they did was go insult the customers when they came in. Then customers didn't like the food, didn't like anything, they would come complain, and they would insult these customers so bad. And he came in. That was the first place he walked away from. He walked away. He's like, you know what? I can't do this.
Where was that restaurant?
Oh, I'd have to look it up. Let's see. I would have to look it up. Give me un momento, por favor. I gotta remember what the name of the show is. What's his name? Just look up his shows. Gordon Ramsay shows.
Daryl says his favorite reality shows were Ice Loves Coco. Couldn't really get with that. Keeping Up with the Kardashians. You already know my stance on that. They are the devil. Fear Factor. I watched Fear Factor here and there. I didn't watch Fear Factor a lot.
I mean, Fear Factor was okay, and but I saw like there's a British version of Fear Factor which was much more hilarious to me. That I saw after the fact, but I'm like, Fear Factor to me was, I think that's what they took themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
And
yeah, what you mean you didn't like Ice Loves Coco? What do you mean by that, son?
Yeah. I mean, I don't watch reality TV in general, so I wasn't gonna be watching that anyway. But Amazing Race, I didn't really watch. I watched a few episodes of Wife Swap. There were some pretty interesting episodes of Wife Swap.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's still going on, I think. Isn't that still going on?
Wife Swap? I'm not sure.
Because I think, didn't that outlast like Trading Spouses? Because it was Trading Spouses and Wife Swap. And I think Wife Swap like outlasted Trading Spouses or something like that. Because Wife Swap started doing like Celebrity Edition and stuff. And I was like, man. Daryl said he watched Maury and Jerry Springer back in the day. I watched Jerry Springer up until like I don't know, like when it just started to get like trailer park trashy, like that's when I stopped watching. Like when
Yeah.
it had like other guests on there like beforehand, like it was okay, but like
When
after
they
a
had
while,
real guests,
yeah.
it was good.
Like,
Hmm.
who would really want to swap their wife? Come on now.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. Like I don't even remember what was the
The
general
point of
premise.
it?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
do you get paid out of this? Like how does this work? Like is this just some kind of social experiment? Like what is this?
I mean, now it's like literally I don't know, but I never understood the premise behind that. Same thing with Super Nanny. It's like they come in there, they
Oh
fix the
yeah,
kids, but what
super
happens
nanny.
when the kids leave?
Exactly, super nanny. Like really.
It's almost like trading lives.
Yeah.
You know, like what the wife is used to in one home. She tries to bring that over to the other home, and that house has their own way of doing things. Like you have like one person like who's like a family's a vegetarian, and then they go to the home where they love the barbecue. They be barbecuing
Look,
up some meat.
I remember
Seriously.
I remember one episode. There's like literally like this wife got traded to a family that just literally ate like raw meat. I'm like, what? Like, I'm sorry. After that point, I'm out. I'm out. After that point, I'm out. I'm gone.
If you ate sushi, I'd be okay with it, but that's about where I draw the line.
I'm talking about legit.
I may eat a rare steak. You have to cook it on each side though. I'm like you have to give me a little bit of char.
It was like legit red meat, raw red meat. I'm like, are y'all serious?
Yeah,
I think
you're
the
gonna have
best.
to give me a little bit of char. You're gonna have to give me something on each side. You're gonna have to give me a little bit. I need a little bit.
Throw it in a pan at least or something for like a minute.
Yeah,
Like throw some barbecue sauce or something. I don't know. Like raw. Like like just eating it out of a bowl. I'm like,
I like
what?
mine barely pink in the middle.
Here's the thing is that really?
Yeah.
Did I just hear that, Harold?
No, you caught that. I wasn't trying to do that. I said what? I was talking about my steak.
And that's even worse.
What are you talking about?
That's even worse. No, that's what I'm talking about is your steak. Where'd you go?
I said when we were talking about rare and how we
where'd you take that?
We were talking about steak and raw meat.
That's what I was talking about too. Where'd you take that walk?
I said I like. You said that you had to have yours charred, and I'm like, yeah. As far as steak, I said I had to. My steak has to be cooked to the point where it's like it's barely pink.
That's what I'm saying. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful to the meat.
Like this isn't like how steak is supposed to be cooked is an ongoing debate. It really is. Like
that's disrespectful to the meat. Oh my goodness. See, that's when you get put out the barbecue. Let me stop.
I can go a little red. I can go a little red.
Okay.
I can go a little red. No, because that's where it's juicy. That's where it gets real juicy. I don't like a dry steak. So if it's like barely pink to a little red, then I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. So medium, you'll go up to medium well.
Medium well. There you go.
Medium well. I don't like if you do a well done steak. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, no, because that's when you go to that. That's like you're biting into like leather at that point. Because it gets real dry. I don't know. No dry steaks for me.
That's just chew.
I'll just give it to the dog, as a chew toy or something like that.
Yeah, that's gum. That's meat gum. That's what that is. It's meat gum because all you're doing is chewing.
It's a chew toy.
But remember that I found out the name of that restaurant. Amy's Baking Company. That is the name of the place that he went to and walked out of.
Wow.
The only time in either UK or US version of Kitchen Nightmares where Ramsay was unable to complete the restaurant transformation.
He just said, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. I'm out. I'm out.
He walked out on them quick.
Mm-hmm.
And their business went up from what I understand, their business went up for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had to close because people just went just to get chastised. That's all they did just to go get chastised. And really think that it was like that because the food was horrible. But they said it closed, I think, not too soon after the production.
Wow.
But yeah, that's Kitchen Nightmares was the name of the show, by the way.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good show. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, my thing with reality TV is that there's so much of it that you kind of get consumed. You don't even realize you're watching it sometimes. Like I've watched stuff just to be like, there's nothing else on, whatever. But I wouldn't necessarily like if you had to give me a choice, to watch Doctor Who, the older episodes versus this. What do you think I'm gonna watch? I watch the black and white all day long.
Right.
Because it's like for me, it's mindless. A lot of it's mindless. I don't need any more drama in my life.
Yeah.
Most of the time, if I do watch it, it's to laugh or it's a joke or it's to see somebody else miserable for 2.5 seconds. And then to go back to my own life and live. But I don't need to watch anybody else. So I don't watch any housewife shows. I've never watched a housewife show a day in my life. Same thing with the Hip Hop Atlanta, the Hip Hop whatever. I don't even know what the other shows are.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Love and Hip Hop. Yeah, I think that's what the name of the show is. I don't know. Wherever Cardi B came from. Whatever show that she came from. I'm like, literally, I don't know. I just know I don't watch it.
No, Love and Hip Hop is not exactly my cup of tea.
Nah, I can't do it. I can't do any of that stuff. To me,
but like, I like Ghost Adventures. I find that funny. I find it hilarious. I don't know why I find that show hilarious, but I find it hilarious. Like any ghost show. You throw a ghost show. I love Ghost Hunters when it was out. Throw a ghost show at me, I watch it all day. Anyway.
I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to watch the next couple of months to see how, if these shows are going back into production, to see how long production is going to last. Yeah. If these shows are even thinking about going back to production, or if they're just going to be like, nah, we're just going to sit the season out.
Yeah, and it's same thing as if their productions rely on being overseas or at island or anything like that.
Yeah.
How it's going to affect that. If it's an American island, sure, but if it's private island someplace, they're probably not even going to let them land.
Exactly.
Especially now because you don't want to go anywhere now.
Exactly.
Especially because it's hurricane season.
Yeah, that too. That too. There's other things than COVID out there. We forgot. We almost forgot.
Hurricane season is definitely until October something. So that they do film a lot of these island shows. It's not going to be until the winter.
Yeah, really.
Like,
I know a lot of shows aren't starting production back up until like legit next year. Once January rolls around, that's when they start production up again. So.
Right.
And if things keep going the way they are, if things don't get any better, then she'll probably be pushed back even further.
Yeah, definitely. But do we have anything else in the comments over here?
Let's see.
Weakest Link was a good reality show. I liked Weakest Link, but she's mean.
Yeah, it was cool for a time. Yeah, I'll say that it was cool for a time. But other than that, a lot of talk shows, game shows. Some of them, reality shows. Certain ones, I just don't see the need to do.
Game shows don't last as much as they used to.
They don't.
Game shows used to be the thing. Like, what happened to Deal or No Deal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're sort of bringing game shows back, but it's like one particular night or one particular day.
Yeah, like they're kind of like revamping them, like so to speak. Yeah.
I think they're redoing Card Sharks and Password and stuff like that. I think.
I think they tried to do Match Game, but that didn't last long.
Nope, Match Game.
Match Game was one of my favorite ones, to watch the old episodes of.
Like the $10,000 Pyramid. I think they brought that back for a minute.
They brought back. Remember the one with the X's and the O's? They made the crosswords.
Hollywood Squares.
Hollywood Squares. Yeah.
They did that for a while. They don't last as long, anymore because I don't know if it's like the money driven. Like, oh, speaking of that, how about Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy?
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know how. I don't know what the story is with Jeopardy. I don't know. I mean, I'm not really up on how Al Trebek is doing right now. I mean, I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, I hope he's doing well because I know he was sick before.
Yeah.
But like, if he decides to like step down from the show, which I know he's not planning on doing, but if he decides to step down, like, who are they going to get to host it? It's the same thing like Wheel of Fortune. Like Pat Sajak's been hosting that thing for like ever.
And Vanna White.
So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't. It's like they've been doing it for so long that it's hard to like really picture anybody else hosting that show. It's
and
like
the same
when
thing is that how do you host that show? Because again, Wheel of Fortune, especially in Jeopardy, look how the contestants are standing.
Yeah.
Right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
How do you have them spin the wheel and they're 6 feet apart?
Exactly. Unless you put up a barrier right behind the podiums where they're standing, and they just unless they wear some gloves, spin the wheel, or something else like that.
Because you can't spin the wheel if they touch the wheel again, unless they have somebody spin the wheel for them.
Right.
I'm like, but even then, I've always said if I ever end up on Wheel of Fortune, I'm probably going to end up falling on the wheel because I'm so short.
Oh, boy.
But I'm like, how do you end up spinning that wheel without touching somebody else's hand?
Exactly.
Like you have to sanitize it between commercials. Like have like a team come out there with a pit crew.
That's probably what they would have to do. Like at least with Jeopardy, you're just standing there hitting the buzzer behind a podium, and you can divide the podiums up. At least there's that. But it's like
they even put the barriers up anyway when they do the actual last part because they don't want them cheating off each other.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't know. Like I think back to my grandmother because she used to watch a lot of game shows. I mean, really, she used to watch Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. Like I remember when the Game Show Network finally became a thing, and I was like, if she were alive, she'd probably be watching the hell out of this network. But it's like
I do because again, I watch the old episodes of Match Game. I enjoy matching. Matching is one of my favorites.
Well, that's because those jokers was funny as hell.
Yeah.
Them old people was funny as hell back in the old Match Game days. They was like cracking all the jokes and like all the slick jokes too. Like none of that like everyone's politically correct now. They was letting all the jokes fly back then.
Oh yeah, they were off the hook.
Like Match Game.
They were going at each other.
Yep.
They were going. It was wild. I loved it.
Match Game, Wheel, like Family Feud. Like I ain't gonna lie, I like Family Feud now with Steve Harvey. I ain't gonna lie, I do watch it. But the older,
you know what it is? It's his reactions to the.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just his reaction to some of the answers and stuff. That's what makes it good.
Yeah.
His reactions to some of the answers, like.
Yeah. Like I can watch a video just on his reactions to just certain answers and stuff. Just like what's wrong with you? Like
I will never forget that one. Tenderloin, not tenderloin.
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 Or
There's a couple of.
Or Naked Grandma. I'm like, what?
I'm like, there's a couple of them that are out there, and you're like,
yeah.
But that's why it makes it so funny. His version of Family Feud makes it so funny.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that his reactions are just like,
priceless, man.
Priceless. Yeah. But I think anybody hosting that show at that point with any personality would have those same reactions.
Because like I'm thinking back now, I remember when what's his name? John O'Hurley hosted Family Feud. The dude with the literal dude with the game show host voiced Family Feud, and that didn't last very long. And then
I remember it was the guy who always kissed everybody, kissed all the women.
Oh
he
yeah,
was like,
Richard Dawson.
Yeah, he was like in there, trying to get the tongue in there too. I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing? That's she 12 years old, bro. Like, what is you doing? And then like Richard Karn, he hosted on Family Feud for a minute. That definitely didn't last very long. Like, I don't know.
I remember when what's his face used to do it. What's his name? Bobby's World. What's his name? Not Bobby's World.
Oh yeah. Life of Louie. Louie Anderson. Yeah, I totally forgot he did that too. Yeah, I really forgot that he hosted it for a minute.
I was gonna say Bobby. I was like, no, not him. Wrong person.
He hosted Deal or No Deal.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like I haven't really sat and watched a game show in a minute. I used to watch game shows a lot, but not so much anymore. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was actually my show. I used to watch that like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I actually stopped watching it after that guy won the $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped watching it. I was like, okay, that's done. Somebody won $1 million. I'm like, I'm over it. Because it wasn't fun to watch anymore.
It's funny. I downloaded the game. On PS3 and I played it a little bit. It was cool, but like after a while, I was like, yeah, it loses its flair. Then it became like Super Millionaire. I'm like, what? Like, what else are you gonna do? Like, I don't know. Now it's supposedly coming back for some unknown reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, because $1 million don't get you nowhere anymore.
It really don't.
Not anymore.
It really don't. So I don't know.
Because you talk about you only get about 80,000 of that.
Oh yeah.
It's like 800,000. I'm sorry, you get about 800,000 of that right now.
That is complete insanity. Like, I don't know. But
yeah, you have enough to buy a house, guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Taxes for a couple of years.
Exactly, and that's about it. You out of luck after that point. You on your own. Like what? So I don't know.
I still have to work.
Yeah, really. I mean, I always said
you ain't quitting your job. You want $1 million. You ain't quitting your job.
I've always said if I ever won the lottery, I wouldn't stop working. I'd still keep working.
You just do what you want to do.
Exactly, that's it.
Right.
That's bottom line. That's really what it is. If I ever won the lottery, I would probably stop working for like a year and a half, 2 years max. Just because.
Just like invest in some stuff or something, like make some of that money, make some of that money work for me or something like that. I would do that. Do that, and then
like 2.5, like 2 years, 2 years max.
Yeah.
And then go back to go just do. I legitimately would go work at a movie theater in a booth again. It wouldn't even bother me. Just to have insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get free movies all the time, but then again,
yeah.
Right.
No, I wouldn't. Actually, I'm lying. I really wouldn't go do that again. But yeah, no, I think. I mean, it'd be nice to know what everybody thinks of it. What do you think is going to happen to your favorite reality TV show going forward? Do you think it's going to be able to get through COVID and everything that's happening right now, or do you think that it's going to just stop and you're probably not going to see it again until the vaccine happens?
Right.
It may not come back at all.
I'm still worried about the damn movie theaters myself. I mean, anyway, but I don't know. If they do come back, it has to be some serious social distancing protocols in place.
Extremely.
Yeah,
did AMC even map that out? Like, they're talking about 15 cents. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but am I going to have to sit next to somebody when I go there? Like, what the heck?
Apparently, from what I understand, is that the setup for AMC, and this is just what I've read for it, is that AMC is going to basically, when they open, you're going to have a set of seats. So basically, they have it set up so every 2 seats are blocked. Every 2 seats are blocked out. So if you pick a seat, then the seat next to you is always going to be blocked out. So if there are 3 people, 4 people, whatever the case may be, you have to leave at least a seat or 2 seats between you, depending on the size of the group. Right. That being said, again, you have to block those seats out, but that means everything has to be assigned seats.
Right.
So you have to go to an assigned seating setup for every single theater you are now doing. It's including regular theaters that used to not have assigned seating. But again, you're looking at circulation problems.
Yeah.
You're going to have to now have, you're going to have to now have advanced circulation because you're going to be sitting in that theater with other people for 2.5 hours, and they're not going to have their mask on because they're going to be eating their stuff.
Exactly.
So, that's another problem that people are having because they're like, oh, I'm wearing a mask for 2.5 hours. Like people are complaining, well, why would I want to wear a mask? I wore a mask for 3 hours. 3 hours on a plane.
Right.
If I can do it for 3 hours on a plane, you can do it for 2 hours on a movie.
Yeah.
So it can happen. So you can definitely do that. So it can happen, but again, you're going to have a lot of people without hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Touching everything, doing everything. Not everybody cleans up after themselves. You're gonna have employees getting exposed to it. It's gonna be a lot of things happening. So, that 15-cent deal or whatever deal that they have coming out, I forgot what it was, 65 cents or something like that. feel that they have going on for their theaters that they have open. More power to you guys, AMC. More
Right.
power to you, because I'm not going to be that experimental child.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to sit that one out for a
I'm not
minute.
gonna. And you know that's an experiment because they know they're not gonna be able to get people in the theaters like they're supposed to be.
Right.
Right.
So, that's really what they're hoping for. Is you come in and you buy their concessions, you buy all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the concession process is not even the same anymore. You know, that's totally different. You know, now, you know, you're not gonna have these dine-in theaters and stuff like that are not gonna be the same anymore.
Nope. No, they're not.
No.
And I was just literally thinking about West Orange too. Like, I don't know how they're gonna work that one out, man. That's
They're not
got to
gonna be
be.
the same anymore. They're not gonna be. You're not gonna have people up in your face anymore. You
No.
can't have it.
Yeah.
Like AMC started doing this thing where you can order your food before you get to
Mhm.
the theater. So I don't know. That might have to be the wave, like for everything now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you have to order your food before you get here if you're gonna eat. Otherwise, nope.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and it's fine if they serve you. If they come up to you and you've already ordered it and then you come down and sit, that's fine.
Yeah.
Keeps you from carrying your stuff, touching things, whatever, that's fine. They bring it to you, just let it sit down, but they can't be in your face taking your order.
Yeah.
Right.
What they're probably going to have to do is implement the dine-in theaters have to implement the little screens that they do at like the restaurants. Directly for those screens.
Yeah.
And that's how you place your order. But that's going to be conflicting as well because you're going to have a credit card. So if you're a child going to the theaters, you don't have a credit card, you have cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to present a problem within itself because a lot of places are not taking cash, especially with the coin shortage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is ironic that they're actually charging 15 cents to go check out a movie when it opens.
Was it 15 cents or 65 cents? I don't know. Let's double check that.
I was told 15 cents.
Let's go back. I sent it to you guys. Let me just go back into my 15 cents.
Yeah.
That should be interesting. That should be very interesting.
15 cents, and there's a coin shortage, as you just mentioned. Well, look at that.
Yeah, the coin shortage. So I guess they're trying to get coins. So if you come in with 15 cents, well, 15 cents plus tax. What does that work out to be? I don't know. How do you tax 15 cents?
I don't know, like a whole quarter. I don't know.
What is 7% of 15%?
Nah.
All I know is that I still have the Stubs program, whatever the heck thing I was paying monthly for. So like that's my 15 cents right there. That 1 month should cover me for like the whole rest of the year.
That's 16 cents. You're paying 16 cents total.
Like that should literally cover me for like the whole year at this point.
Yeah.
So it's like I better be able to walk in there like I'm gonna go see this movie. You already got my money. Thank you very much. Like seriously.
But it's only for the opening day though. So
only for the opening day, yes.
That's only for the opening day.
Yeah.
You know, you can watch multiple movies, so you can go in there and be like, "Hey, I'm watching 5 movies."
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Movies.
Shoot.
And the movies that they're playing are like classics, like Back to the Future. And,
but I said that's what they're gonna have to do anyway because they can't get releases.
Yeah.
And and they're gonna be really mad when they realize that a lot of productions are going a route of I'm releasing my movies, like Disney Plus is releasing Mulan.
Yeah.
For $30. So
yeah,
they're not putting it in theaters.
So it's going to be very interesting to see how things work out once they open back up.
Yeah, definitely. But
life has changed. Life has changed, y'all.
Other than that, I don't see any more comments, anything like that. Do you guys have anything else on the topic at all, or?
As far as wrestling is concerned, this will probably be my last thought. As far as wrestling is concerned, like it'll probably be this way for a while now, where it's just like a small audience performance center. Like even like their pay-per-views and stuff, they're like it's the same thing. Like I know WWE, they actually put out a free version of the WWE Network. I had the paid version, like the $10 a month version, but I got rid of it because I just wasn't really into WWE at that point. But if it's free right now, I mean, I don't know how long it's going to be free. I don't know if it's something that they just did because of what's going on right now. I never really took the time to look into it, but if it's free right now, I'll probably jump back into it again. I guess, like I said, I just kind of really started watching like middle of like July. I started watching again because I just wanted to see what was going down. But again, that's a very audience driven industry, and it's like, I mean, the fact that people are still watching is a plus on their side, but eventually, you know, these live events, they're gonna have to work something out. Like like they probably could have, and I'm surprised they didn't even think about this. They probably could have did like some live shows outside somewhere. They have certain like pay-per-view events at outside venues. Like, I'm pretty sure they could have worked something out and try to do something like that. Like sell a certain number of tickets or something like that, and then keep
But
it.
I don't think they're allowed to have an audience according to
No.
the actual where they're filming. I think the law states that they can't have it.
Yeah, I think that's what it is because the performance center isn't like. I feel like it's in. I want to say it's in Florida. I want to say the performance center. Yeah, so. And we all know what Florida is like.
Yeah, but the problem is that even with that, they're not allowing them to have a audience.
Yeah.
So I believe even if you did an outside venue, it would just change the setting of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it would change what is going on with it. It would still make it just as silly in that particular sense.
Yeah, that's true also. I mean, either way.
Boxing. It's like you take boxing out, now you just make it street fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's pretty much what it is.
I mean, Dana White was getting ready to have a whole Mortal Kombat thing going on here with Fight Island.
I know,
and all this other stuff. I'm like, he's about to pull a whole Shang Tsung out of nowhere, but I guess he dialed that back because of what's going on right now. Pretty bold move to make, but I mean that's all I got as far as the rest of reality TV. I can honestly say like, a lot of it's going to be dying down. If not dying out completely, a lot of it's definitely going to be dying down.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Any other last thoughts? Final thoughts, as Jerry Springer would say?
All I gotta say is, ladies and gentlemen, just stay safe, and let's just hope and pray that a vaccine is found. That, continue to wear your masks. Everybody that out there, I mean, if there's anybody out there, who's in production or doing any filming or doing any television shows, and we just hope that you guys just stay safe. Do your protocols and everything, and hopefully one day we'll get back to normal.
Yeah,
I'm optimistic like that. So just stay safe.
Yeah, I mean, one day we'll, and I just don't think that we'll have the same shows.
Yeah,
when that happens.
I
think we'll have a totally different audience or different type of show at that point. I think it'd be more Black Mirror-ish at that point.
Which I wish would come back. I'm kind of hoping for a new season of Black Mirror.
If you're dying for that, I would suggest you check out a British show called Inside Number 9.
Interesting. Okay.
If you're dying for that, is the British version. It's considerably the British version of that Black Mirror, and they do have new episodes. So if you are pushing for that, it's a good alternative. It's a little bit more on the dark humor side, though.
Okay.
Just keep that in mind. But yeah, definitely. I watch both. I've been watching Inside Number 9 more lately. Because of the dark humor, but I like British humor. So yeah, if you are dying for that, definitely check that out.
Okay.
But I think it will be more Black Mirror-ish. If anything else.
Right.
So I think we're gonna head that way with a lot more things. And I think that, whether people like it or not, we're headed that route. Because technology is advancing, things are gonna change, things are gonna advance. I think that a lot of things are going to change the way we do things in the future, including social interactions. Because shaking hands is not going to be a thing anymore.
Yeah, really.
So you're not going to be able to shake somebody's hand. You're not going to be able to hug people. You're not going to be able to do a lot of things anymore. Not for a while.
Yeah, it's the sad part right there, man.
But yeah, definitely, do you guys in the audience have anything else to say? Nope. But yeah, I definitely, I would guys be make sure to follow us.
Yeah.
like the like the video, hit the little thumbs up button. And if you don't, you can hit the thumbs down button if you want.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna hurt our feelings at all. It's not.
Keep it real. If you like us,
Yeah.
you like us. If you don't, you don't.
Really?
Definitely. If you do like us, make sure to follow us. Hit the bell. That way you're notified when we are online and we are doing live. So that way, you're not missing anything. I saw a couple people that kind of waned in and out. So I think people were just kind of jumping in and probably got the notification or not. But definitely, and tell a friend,
Right.
If you enjoy the show, tell a friend, come in and enjoy it. We talk for a while. They can always come watch us later on. It's no big deal. And just like Kendrick said, he sees the comments that are made on some of the older videos as well. And if we do see them, definitely, we will address them like we did today. We address them like we did today on the newer cast. I think next week we're going to probably do something a little bit different for the Thursday. Is that right, Kendrick?
So we are going to, I guess the best way to describe it would be we're going to attempt our first watch party. We're going to look to do that. I'm going to be playing around with a lot of things over the weekend to try to make sure that is up and running. So we're going to attempt to all stream something together. What do we say? Like Lovecraft Country? Think we want to do that? Make that the first.
Yet?
It's not premiering until Sunday.
Okay.
As far as I know.
What are we watching?
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah,
Lovecraft Country.
And it's an episode show, so we can definitely do it.
Okay.
Figure we'll start with that as opposed to like a movie or something like for short. So we're gonna be organizing that. Hopefully we'll be able to get this up on Facebook. We'll get Facebook running next week, so we'll be doing that. So we didn't forget some of the suggestions that you guys made about I know Josh had mentioned about us doing a watch party about a movie that's bad and us just ripping it apart. So we'll
that's fine. What do you call it? Bad movie at the month club?
Yeah, so we'll do that. We'll probably make that like a once a month thing. Once a month we'll take a bad movie and we'll just completely rip on it. If the Lovecraft Country watch party works out, then we'll definitely be doing that on a monthly basis as far as like a bad movie. And
that's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be very interesting. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of playing around this weekend to make sure that's gonna be a thing that we can do. So be on the lookout for that. And then again, like I said before, if you guys have any suggestions on things you would like for us to talk about on the podcast, send it our way. We'll definitely look at it and work it into like a future show or something like that. All right, so we're open to suggestions. Again, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Discord. We're all there. Council of the Blurs. You can find us. You can find the logo. We're all there. So you can definitely continue. You can keep the conversation going. Just because we sign out of the live stream doesn't mean the conversation's over. If you want to keep the conversation going, we are definitely open to keeping it going with you. All right. And as always, the council
has spoken.
So we will catch you guys next week with hopefully our first watch party. So we'll see you guys next week.
All right.
We're out.
Bye-bye.
You were watching Council of the Blurs, a Geekcast. The council has spoken.